What is going on, people? Jaye Black here. Another video. Salute to everybody that is tuning in. I want to talk about women who throw divorce parties because we all know that a lot of women want to be married. They want to go through the process of getting engaged, planning the wedding, having the wedding, and then planning then having the honeymoon. And then once all that is done, the real work is the relationships. And sometimes it works, sometimes they don't. And if you look at the statistics, for a lot of women, they're ready to get out of those relationships when they're ready to get out of those, marriages. Now, this video was sparked by an article from Total Pro Sports, and it talked about Johnny Manziel's ex-wife, Bri Tiesi, throwing herself a divorce party in Miami. It says, looks like Bri Tiesi is enjoying the single life following her split from husband Johnny Manziel. In case you don't remember, Bri kicked Manziel to the curb after the former Heisman Trophy winner allegedly cheated on her. Manziel has since begged Bri to come back, but judging by her latest antics in Miami, it appears as though Tiesi is more than ready to move on. If she hasn't, I highly doubt she'd be throwing herself a Miami divorce party with single shirts to let all the thirsty males know she's ready to mingle. And she's promoting a divorce party. You don't throw yourself a divorce party if you're not 100% sure the relationship is over. Now, judging by that marriage alone, her social media activity, because I made a video about this on my JDB TV channel about their initial breakup. She seemed like somebody who was riding the wave, and I think she might have been okay with Johnny Manziel, messing around if he was able to get back to the NFL. He was in the AAF for a short stint before that league folded. And I think she's looked at his prospects and said to herself, nah, I'll just use him messing around, 5 or 6 months ago in order to get out of that relationship. Because she actually went on a girls trip a couple months back, and that was speculation they were broken up. But let me just say this about these divorce parties. I've seen these divorce parties in movies. I believe I think there was a reality show once upon a time. One was throwing a divorce party. But these will be the same women who want to get married. They want the white picket fence. They want to have the kids. They want everything, right? But that's what it is. It's wanting, and then when you get it, whether the guy, I'm not saying that you should stay with a guy if he's cheating. That's not what I'm saying. Because in a lot of cases, but there are certain cases where the guys are not even really cheating on the women. The women just want out of that marriage. They're done. Women will divorce because they just don't want to be with you anymore. And they're throwing divorce parties because that's what marriage is to them. It's about throwing parties. It's about throwing engagement parties. You got the bachelorette parties. Then you have the wedding receptions and the initial wedding itself, and then you got the honeymoon. It's about basically just a bunch of parties. It's a bunch of getting together. It's a bunch of the woman being the center of attention. But once she's married, once she's walked down that aisle, once the guy has basically blown through money in order to afford this initial wedding and the honeymoon, she gets bored. I think Bri Tiesi got bored. I'm not saying that you should stay with somebody that messed around on you, but relationships go through things. There is no couple together that hasn't dealt with infidelity. I'm sorry. I'm not saying that you should stay with somebody because they cheated. What I'm saying is sometimes you can work through certain things, especially if you haven't been married that long. If you haven't been married that long, you got Johnny Manziel who's begging you to come back, and you decide that you're better off not being with him. You know, that's fine. That's the decision that you made. But you can look at the social media and tell that she was riding a wave, and maybe she thought that Johnny would be farther than he is now, and maybe she wants to be back on the market again. You can tell by the type of guy she gets with next. If he's an athlete, you already know what it is. He's probably going to be somebody who has a solid career, a solid contract. But a lot of those guys he already got somebody, you know. And in these situations, this is why you don't get married young. You don't get married young. Don't mean that you can't be in relationships or even be engaged, you know, just to see if it works out. So you don't have to go through a nasty divorce, because that's exactly what's going to happen, because you decided to marry somebody early. Maybe this was the most attractive woman Johnny has ever been with, and he felt like he needed to put a ring on her finger. But you don't do stuff like that, man. You can't go and marry somebody just because she's the best looking female that has ever, you know, dated you. This particular girl probably couldn't wait to get back on the dating market again, just so she could be getting flown out and wine and dined, and you know, that's the lifestyle that I believe she chose. She wants that. Well, until she gets into her 30s and she realizes women younger than her are living that lifestyle. And then she'll be on social media criticizing male celebrities who date younger women. But that's a whole nother video topic. All right. Now, there was another article from Glamour, right? And it says for some women, finalizing their divorces mean throwing an actual party. Okay. It says Elisa, who makes a living planning weddings as the owner of the New Jersey-based events firm Kiss of Bliss, decided she was in need of her own bash 3 years ago. She sent out formal invitations, hired a mixologist and a DJ, and invited 100 of her closest friends and family to her home. The cause of the celebration: her divorce being finalized. It was a party for the ages, and complete with a photo booth, belly dancers, and a paintball gun. Guests used to take shots at her wedding gown. Listen, man, maybe that's something that couples do. You know, maybe men and women throw divorce parties, and I'm not aware of dudes doing that. You know, usually when a dude gets divorced, he moves on. You know, he may take a trip out to a vacation spot. You know, but I don't necessarily see him in a situation of throwing a party. You know, Elisa admits she was apprehensive about throwing a party to basically remember her bad marriage, according to her. Now, I want y'all to understand something. Every marriage from a woman's point of view is always the other guy's fault. They're never going to say, it's my fault, I need to fix what's going on. Oh no. What it is it's going to be a situation of, I need to get away from him. You know, he did me wrong. It's never them really looking themselves in the mirror and saying, you know what, I messed up. You know, it's somebody else's fault. And I want people to understand this, man. When you decide to walk down the aisle, when you decide to get married, it's a lot of responsibility. It really is. And before you say I do, you better hope this is what you want. You have to understand there's going to be ups and downs. I'm not saying that you should stay with somebody that, you know, cheats. What I'm saying is there's going to be problems. No relationship lasts for a long time that doesn't have problems. But a lot of these couples nowadays, they don't understand that. They look at these memes and they look at all these posts and they think that marriage is supposed to be perfect. No, it's not. You either get into them for the right reasons or you don't. But you can't be talking about you want that life, and then once you get that life, it gets a situation where you actually didn't want that life. You know what I'm saying? You actually didn't. Now, I want people to understand, because I know there's people who want to get married that listen to my video. There's a lot of guys who say they're not going to get married. I'm one of those guys. I feel like marriage is not needed. I really believe that marriage is not needed. It really ain't. So I want people to really think in their minds, what's the point of a divorce party? Like, you're celebrating ending a marriage. Are you just gonna stay away from it? Have you been red pilled? Because those same women throwing divorce parties are going to be the same women who are going to want to get married again. And I feel as though if you throwing a party, don't get married again. But the thing is, these women are going to throw divorce parties, and they're going to want to get married again. Let me tell you something. If a guy throws a divorce party, he ain't getting married again. He is not getting married again. Any man who throws a divorce party, more than likely, he ain't never getting married again. Can we say the same for these females? Can we say that they're not getting married again? Because I think they want to be married again. But once again, it's all about the pomp and circumstance. You know what I'm saying? It's all about the parties and gatherings and, being the sole focus of attention. Women get addicted to that. Why are you throwing a divorce party? It's cool to get out of a situation that you felt like you didn't want to be in, but what's the point of throwing a divorce party when you're going to want to get married again? You should be focusing on internalizing and trying to figure out your life, trying to figure out what you want. But you're not doing that because you want to once again be the center of attention. You're addicted to being the center of attention. You're addicted to partying, throwing parties, being the center of attention. So, y'all let me know think in the comment section below, and let me know your thoughts.